What is going on, everyone, and welcome to r/EntitledParents. Now, in today's first story, an entitled parent literally leaves her daughter stranded in another state, drives off, away from her, leaving her alone. Before we get into that though, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you for your support over the Christmas period. I've had a couple of days off. I've pre-recorded some videos and got them up on Christmas Day and yesterday, Boxing Day, and the support on those was absolutely insane. We hit loads of likes, loads of new subscribers, so if you are new around here, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't done already, hit that button. Still trying to hit 600,000 by the end of this year. And yeah, thanks for the support. Hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, or if you don't celebrate it, just time off. Let's get into today's first story. Entitled mother leaves daughter stranded in another state. This happened a few days ago to my girlfriend. Basically, her entitled mother had my girlfriend do some of her schoolwork. I think she's getting a degree or something, with the expectation that she would drive my girlfriend to and from Worcester, MA, so she can visit her friends, while social distancing, of course. They live in RI, so the drive is around 4 hours round trip. Anyways, the entitled mum drops off my girlfriend as planned, and she got to enjoy the day seeing her friends. However, come time to get picked up, the entitled mum decided that she didn't feel like driving. So she left my girlfriend stranded in another state without a car or anything. She ended up having a panic attack and had to take a train back home, not getting back until 12:30 a.m. It's one thing if her entitled mum had changed her mind prior to her bringing my girlfriend to Worcester, but the level of selfishness needed to decide not to pick her up after dropping her off when she already had agreed to do so just boggles my mind. I've tried to convince my girlfriend not to let her entitled mum bully her into helping her moving forward, but I'm not sure that'll happen. Unfortunately, my girlfriend has a mindset of complacency and just accepts that it is what it is. Hopefully, over time, I'll be able to convince her that this kind of rubbish is unacceptable and that she deserves to be treated with respect. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rants. Not too much I can really say about this one other than, unfortunately, OP, your girlfriend's mum is just a horrible person. Who would do that? I mean, fundamentally, it's very dangerous, right? You're not legally allowed to do that. Just leave someone, your daughter, in another state. And, how would they have got home? Say she had no money, or say her train ticket or whatever didn't work. She literally would have been stranded with nobody there. I mean, yes, her friends were there, but realistically, nobody. Very dangerous and very entitled to do such a thing. Now moving on to our second story. My narcissistic mum claims I ruined her Christmas because I called her out on not wearing a face mask, and now she's trying to steal a cat from a stranger's children. I've only been lucid to the fact that my mum is a narcissist and manipulator for a few months now, because she always controlled what I could think or say my whole childhood. When I started dating my boyfriend, I moved out from her house and slowly started to see from an outside perspective her true colours. This Christmas just blew me away and I finally ran out of sympathy for her. Now that I feel like I can finally think for myself, I haven't been holding my opinions back from her very much anymore, which is driving her crazy and we get into lots of arguments over it. She's got a weird obsession with having the perfect Christmas and demanding everything meets her crazy standards. And if they don't, she finds someone to point a finger at and say, "You ruined my Christmas." Last year, my boyfriend and I ruined her Christmas because we were too broke to afford nearly any gifts at all for people because we'd just moved and had just started working new jobs. She's upper middle class and is super out of touch with what it's like to be short a couple $100 for rent coming up, and she wouldn't listen to any kind of reasoning. This year, I ruined her Christmas by speaking my mind. She and I had gone to Walmart a few days ago, and there were lots of people with their masks pulled down under their noses. On Christmas Eve, when my mum came and picked me up, she started trash talking all the people at Walmart with their masks down. But while we had been there, in the checkout, she had also pulled her mask down under her nose, and right behind an older woman with an oxygen tank, no less. I told my mum she can't talk trash because she had done that too, but she told me I need to be quiet and I'm not allowed to talk to her that way. I'm 21 years old, by the way. She started arguing with me and said she was dying and needed to which I said, "What if all those other people were dying as well?" She said, "Stop, I can't do this the entire weekend. You can't be argumentative with me." I said if she can't do it the whole weekend, she should just take me home. I'd gotten out of the car at this point because I needed to go to the print shop and I planned to walk home anyway. While I was printing though, I got this text. you owe me an apology. You were pushy and argumentative from the minute you got in the car, and then speaking to me the way you did? No, Mom, that is not appropriate. There is a huge difference between me taking my nose out of my mask for 2 minutes when standing just with you, more than 10 feet away from any other people, and the multitude of people shopping shoulder to shoulder with their noses hanging out. Regardless of any of that, however, the way you spoke to me was rude and disrespectful and not acceptable. If you plan to treat me or anyone else that way tonight and tomorrow, then I'll take you up on your offer to just stay home. I've gone to a tremendous amount of effort and expense to make this time special for us, only to find myself sobbing and wishing I could just go to bed and not see anyone tonight. If you aren't ready to apologize and adjust your attitude, then I can just take you home and be done with it. I'm very upset and disappointed. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. Now it's on the brink of being ruined. When I finally got to my mum's house, I've been planning on not apologising because I don't see a single reason why I should, but she never brought it up and neither did I. She instead gave me the silent treatment all night long, and anytime I would try to talk to her, she just wouldn't respond, or she gave me very short, cold responses. That was okay though. I had a couple of friends over, so I decided to enjoy my night and let her throw a temper tantrum. I think one of the craziest things my mum is trying to do though is steal a cat from 4 children she doesn't even know, because I love that cat. Simba, his real name and not the one my mum gave him, is this really sweet, fat and playful indoor-outdoor cat. He showed up to my mum's house a few months ago and she gave him some canned food, and he'd been coming back multiple times after that and staying for hours at a time. She wound up putting a collar and a tag on him, and she got a call from a man saying that she can't collar this cat because he's not her cat. It's his and his 4 kids' cat. My mum didn't care. She already decided that Simba just had to be mine. We don't know anything about the people who called other than the man's first name, that he has 4 kids, and that they have a cat. Beyond that though, it's impossible to make any judgment calls. My mum kept putting collars and tags on him, and Simba's family kept taking them off. My mum and grandma are trying to find any way they can to say the cat is being abused. They say because he's a rough player, he must be abused by the kids, that because they feed him dry food, he's abused, and the man has called my mum a few times, calling her a female dog and a butthole and stuff. They say because you can hear the kids playing in another room when he's on the phone, shouting and cussing out my mum, that he must be abusive to the kids and the cats. I don't know about anyone else, but if someone was trying to steal my cat, I'd probably have some choice words for them too. Plus, the man could be standing in his bedroom or outside with the window open when he makes the phone calls. Who's even to know? I've also had cats in the past who've been abused before I got on them, and in no way does Simba act like an abused cat. He's the sweetest, friendliest cat I've met. He just doesn't like to be picked up and will fuss about for a bit. My mum has put a dog collar with a tag on him and had put a stitch into the collar so he wouldn't be able to slip it off. I tried telling her cat collars are made to break away for a reason, but she didn't care. Before she'd put the stitch into the collar, they found it caught on a big branch, so the poor thing very possibly could have choked to death. He also keeps getting his jaw stuck in the dog collar, since it's made for dog necks and not cat necks, and he could get lockjaw or even break his jaw. My mum was super crazy when it came to Simba this Christmas. On Christmas Eve day, the man called and said he's going to make the cat an indoor cat because he's sick of her trying to collar his cat. He says when Simba disappears, his children get super worried, but my mum's convinced the kids don't care since the man has never put up a lost cat poster or anything. My mum was crying all night long about losing Simba and saying, "Oh, woe is me for not being able to ever see the cats I stole from children ever again." My mum tried telling the man that nobody owns cats choose where to go, and he said that his cat is microchipped. My mum wants to call the vet and make them change the microchip information for him. She doesn't think you can steal a cat, but you can steal a dog because in the eyes of the American law, dogs are considered property but cats aren't, and that cats haven't been domesticated as long as dogs have been, so they're still wild animals. A guy in my city had his lawn inflatable stolen in the night, and my mum is hoping he can get them back and that the thief is caught. Yet, in the same breath, she justifies stealing someone's cat. My mum also already has 2 cats that she doesn't give any attention to just because they're not as cuddly. She just wants to steal a cat without even first loving the 2 she already has. And if she's dead set on getting a more cuddly cat, she's trying to steal one instead of adopting one from the shelter. When I was a kid, we had a very friendly cat who'd wind up going missing for a week or more because other people would pick him up and take him in. My mum always called them, saying that's not their cat, and she'd be happy to share him with them if they pay half his vet bills. They always gave the cat back after she said he's already got a family. Any of those people could have told her, look lady, you've got 3 kids, so clearly he's being abused. I'm doing him a favour. I give him home cooked meals over your wet canned food. I'll just call the vet and get his chip info changed. I put a collar and tag on him. I changed his name. He's my cat now, tough. She'd throw a fit over that, and I know she'd cuss them out or even call the police. I just don't know where my mum gets off with her outrageous hypocrisy. No, OP, neither do I. I've got to be honest, I don't understand the logic of this entitled woman at all. I was going along with it and I was like, yeah, you know what, okay, she just really wants a cat. Anyway, she possibly can get one. Maybe she's tried to get one in the past before and not been successful. But you know what, don't steal a cat anyway, was what I was thinking in my head. Then you say she already has 2 cats. What? Why do you want to steal another cat? Just because it's more cuddly? Look after your own cats, you know? If she doesn't love her own 2 cats already, then it's probably not the best idea to try and steal another one, who realistically, you're probably going to love for about a week and then get over it, you know? Like, you already have 2 cats, just absolutely mad. But yeah, there are lots of other ways to get a cat, you know? As you say, going to a shelter, buying a cat. You don't have to steal one, especially given that you hate people who steal. And you know, as OP says at the end, if someone had tried to steal your 2 cats back in the day, then yes, of course you would have called the police. That's what I'd do in this situation. If someone kept trying to collar my cat and tried to steal it, of course I'd call the police. I'd be like, what's going on here? Honestly, yeah, your mum's just being completely selfish. She's not seeing it from the family's point of view, the family that owns the cat. She needs to put herself in their shoes and understand what she would do in their position. Just being really selfish and not thinking of the other people's kids. Imagine they lose their cat to your mum. They're going to be devastated, obviously. Like, it's not that hard to understand. Have a little bit of empathy, come on. Oh, what a strange, strange woman. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, and you want more right away from me, then I have a whole list of all my Entitled Parents videos right here in this lovely playlist. Go and watch them all. Go and binge them all. They're all fantastic. Also, I actually released an Entitled Parents movie the other day. I'll leave that up here as well. You can go and watch that. 1 hour and 54 minutes of pure Entitled Parents content. Finally, if you are new to my channel, make sure you are subscribed. Oh, and also, if you want some lovely merch, then you know what? You can go and get that down here as well. All right, guys, see you later on today with a brand new video.